Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special presentation of the inaugural We Are Texans Wednesday. Now, officially, I started recording just before midnight, so technically is Wednesday, but you won't see it till Thursday, so it's a special. And it's the inaugural one. Just get used to it being on Wednesdays. It's We Are Texans Wednesdays, and we're doing this today, and it's just going to be me. Doing this today because Demeco Ryans is now the Texans coach, and that means some big things are happening in the organization. So let's get into it. We'll have a brief kind of hype thing about it because I'm just hype about it, and then we'll talk about the OC and potential DC because he does not want to be the play caller. He would like to have somebody control that, and then he would just like to oversee it. So I'm cool with that, but let's get into it. So first, as a Texans fan since 2003, it's really nice to see Demeco Ryans, former Texans legend. I believe he still holds the record for the most tackles by a Texan. Might be Brian Cushing. Could be either one of those two guys. Demeco Ryans is a former Rookie of the Year at middle linebacker for the Texans. He then left the Texans after 9 seasons and went to Philadelphia. Sued the Texans while he was still playing, and now over the past couple years he's worked his way up the coaching ladder, and this year led a very stout 49ers defense to the NFC Championship, accompanied with some other help obviously, but that defense definitely helped them get that far. I think he's going to bring a lot of mojo. I think he's going to have all of the energy. The fan base is going to be excited about this. This is going to be something that people can really rally behind, just because he's a homer. He's a legend. It's like for Titans fans or Colts fans, it'd be like if Peyton Manning came back, or if Eddie George decided to coach the Titans, or Frank Wycheck or something, or if the Jags, it'd be like Mark Brunell, someone like that, or Jimmy Smith. It's just kind of, it's such a close to home thing. This is going to be great. Now, do I think that the Texans are still going to give him quite the short leash? Yes. Yes, I do. I think that the organization expects success very quickly. And the last couple hires have kind of really put the ownership in such a bad light that I think it's hard to give them the benefit of the doubt. So here's to hoping that he actually makes it to the end of that 6-year contract and lives up to this initial hype. Let's go ahead and get into the potential OC and defensive coordinator there that he's looking for. All right, so he's not going to be keeping Pep Hamilton as the OC. The Texans have reached out to Bobby Slowick, who's the OC, or he's the passing game coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. And while you're like, whoa, hey, why would that be a good move? There's a little bit of logic to it. This is a passing game coordinator who, with Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy, a literal Mr. Irrelevant, managed to throw 29 touchdown passes as an offense and only 8 interceptions. Now, a lot of that is due to the fact that there's a running threat in San Francisco, which, helps everything. And efficiency, just generally being efficient. And I think sometimes that's putting your players in a good enough spot to be efficient and keep the ball moving down the field without having to stray too far from your game plan. Maybe that's what Bobby Slowick brings to the table. The other person they've brought attention to, asked for interviews from Troy Walters, who's the wide receivers coach for the Cincinnati Bengals. And you could see that Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, apologies. You can see that T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd do very well in Cincinnati. And he's been a large part of that. I do believe, there's a good chance that Demeco Ryans kind of enjoys some of the style of Shanahan's offense. So he might try to bring that over with Slowick. But I don't know. I don't know. As far as the defensive coordinator job, Marquand Manuel for the defensive coordinator spot. He's the DB's coach for the Jets right now, and the Jets had a really solid defense. I would say that some of that is due to the manpower up front in that front seven, allowing those people in the back end to do what they do. But this is the same person who made Sauce Gardner have a smooth transition in the NFL. I'm not going to sit here and try to take anything away from the ability that Sauce Gardner has, but a good coach sees that and magnifies it, and puts that talent in a situation that they can benefit from. Unless what their entire skill set is contradicts everything that they're trying to build in the room. So, Manuel is a former player, played 8 years in the league. He was a special teams assistant with the Seahawks in 2012. He worked his way up to become the Falcons defensive coordinator from 2017 to 2018. He was ousted in 2018 after finishing in the bottom 5, after finishing in the top 10 the year before in 2017. Became the DB's coach with the Eagles in 2020. Joined the Jets as Robert Saleh's first staff in 2021, and has served as the safeties coach specifically over the past 2 seasons. The Jets allowed the fewest yards per game and the third fewest passing yards per game in 2022, leading him to also garnering an interview for the Panthers defensive coordinator job. The Texans have also expressed interest in Corey Undlin, the secondary specialist coach for the 49ers for the DC job. And again, that's Demeco bringing in his own boys, and I'm cool with that. The problem I have is I don't think Lovey was ever able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, Pep was already on the staff, and they promoted him. I don't know that necessarily Lovie Smith's vote, even if he voted yay, is heavy enough to garner a no vote from everyone else or sway the opinion. So, I don't know. I just see some imbalance, so I don't know. Besides having worked extensively with Ryans over the past 2 years, Undlin has experience as a defensive coordinator, having served in the role with the Lions in 2020. Of course, that stint ended with his firing, but Undlin has seemingly rehabilitated his image following 2 successful seasons in San Francisco. The longtime coach won Super Bowl rings with the Patriots and the Eagles. He's also head coaching stints with the Jesus Christ. He's also had head coaching stints with the Browns, Jags, and Broncos. There's also Chris Kokurik, who's the defensive line coach for the 49ers, and quality control coaches Stephen Adokwe and Andrew Hayes Stoker, but presumably not to be the DC. So that's a little glimpse, and that was thanks to Pro Football Focus, I think, or Pro Football something or other on the interwebs for some of that. So with those things in mind, I don't have much of an issue with trying to pull guys that you're familiar with in any way, shape, or form. I think that's how you build the culture that you're comfortable with, as well as one that you know is successful. If there is anything that you can take away from the San Francisco 49ers, it's that they've been successful over the past, however, 6-8 years. I mean, they've been in the NFC. Anytime they go to the playoffs, they go to the NFC Championship game. It's the weirdest thing ever. So with that, I think we're going to wrap up this episode, folks. Thanks for watching. And like and subscribe. We Are Texans Wednesdays will officially be starting March 8th. So just a little taste. We will have guests. There will be other people involved. It won't be just me all the time. So get ready. Strap on your helmets. Strap on your shoes if you got the Velcro ones. If not, tie them up because, I imagine most of you are not 90. So, or 5 for that matter. Anyway, like button, subscribe button. Be good people.